Well, we're back, and hopefully you enjoyed that Dighton High School Marching Hornet Band when they played the Phantom of the Opera, Ghostbusters, and the Hut on Fowl's Legs. I'm joined right now by Jim Oliver. This is a man that I would call the godfather of Missouri. Okay, Missouri is about 2 hours to the east of us right now. And Jim spent 23 years in Lee Summit, Missouri,
Yes, sir.
and that in that time that he was president of the Missouri Music Educators Association, president of the Missouri Bandmasters Association, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that he had the original idea and was engaged with the All-State Band in Missouri.
How do you find out all these
I'm,
things?
I just have a good memory. So glad to see you again, Jim.
Well, happy
We're
to
glad
be
that you
here.
could come up and join us here on Viewer's Choice.
Having a good day here. It's beautiful.
Isn't it great?
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful day.
Well, I just thought maybe we could just talk a little bit about your experiences back in those days and the friends that you made, the effects that you had on students, and the memories that you have as a professional.
Well, I was very, very fortunate. I grew up at a time when, I wanted to be successful, and I tried to put myself in a position to be with those people who I respected, and they were nice enough to offer me an open hand
Sure.
and lift me up. And I've tried to do the same thing since. But nothing of it has anything to do with raw talent. It was just a lot of hard work.
Well, I think there's a little raw talent too. Tell me, where did you go to school?
Well, I started out at Missouri Western, and things weren't moving along as quickly as I'd hoped for there.
Okay.
They didn't really have a band program at that time, but it kept me out of Vietnam. So it was a good reason, and I did have a purpose. I transferred to Maryville at one of my instructor's recommendations. She thought maybe that would be a better thing, and for me it was. I ran into Henry Howie, who had studied with Kleinhammer out of the Chicago
Sure.
Symphony from the time he was 10 years old. He's teaching Sam Houston State now, but I was one of his first private students at the collegiate level, and he worked me over and gave me 10 years with the St. Joe Symphony, and from there it just kept rolling.
Well, you think about all of those folks, that those who had such a mark. Okay,
Oh,
Claude
yes.
Smith.
Yeah.
And not just the Claude Smith, the composer, but
No.
Claude Smith, the band director at Chillicothe.
Oh, he was wonderful.
Oh my gosh,
And
what
if
a
you ever see
professional.
him work a band, he never used a derogatory comment, a negative comment in any way. I need more of this, I need less of that. He was such an amazing gentleman, and always working.
You bet.
Always working. And
Well,
he was
and-
so kind to me.
And others, Keith House.
Oh, Keith
Okay,
House.
you remember? Okay,
Keith
what
House.
what a gentleman. Russ
Yeah.
Coleman.
Russ Coleman.
You know,
Yeah.
my gosh,
Warrensburg.
all of the folks
Sure.
that had such an effect on the amazing music that was being made in Missouri.
Well, Ward Rounds had a band camp
Of course.
at Northwest Missouri State, where I was going to school, and so I ended up with those guys. But the best of Northwest part of the state, we're up there every summer for 2 weeks working band camps. Tom Price, Bill Mack,
Bill Mack, who went to
Maupin.
Western at one time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And long after I got
Oh, yeah.
there, I wish I'd had Bill then, but the whole point of it was there was such a strong group of people there, and Claude was one of them, of course, but they were always open to helping, and
Yeah.
we'd sit in the evenings sometimes and talk shop, and I learned so much from those guys.
Well, and that experience, I had the same kinds of experiences where I went to school in Des Moines, Iowa,
Yeah.
at Drake University,
Sure.
and I
Don
married
Marcoulier.
who was my father-in-law. Okay,
Is that right?
I married his daughter.
Gosh, I didn't know
Okay,
that.
and so that situation there, but not only that situation with Don, but all of the people at Drake, all of those band directors in the Des Moines area, or
Yeah.
even the Bob Bagleys over at Roosevelt High School,
Yeah.
up in Mason City, and the things that were happening
my
up there
goodness,
with
yes.
Paul Boehm,
Yep.
and I mean, just extraordinary people that have an impact on our lives, and it's pretty remarkable.
I have to say, I mentioned a bunch of people, but I didn't say anything about Ward Rounds, and he was director of bands at the university at the time I went there. And he always made me feel like I was always a part of his group for whatever reason. And he put me in that bass trombone chair and let me play for 2 years. We got to go to MMA one year, played Chance's
Yeah.
Blue
Lake.
Blue Lake. We played Blue Lake. I love that piece.
Yeah, me too.
And it just fit that band so well. But anyway, he took such good care of me, but I didn't realize or feel like I was an add-on to anything until
Right.
our senior year, last band rehearsal, and he's giving medals out for 4-year people. And here I am, I got nothing, but never did I ever feel that.
Yeah.
Now, how many people would do that for
No,
you?
there are fewer and fewer.
Yeah.
No question about
And
it.
Keith House, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
What a band,
Did you ever
man.
see such a record collection in your life?
If I ever needed anything, I called
He
Keith.
had it.
But he taught at Lee Summit years before I got
Oh, I didn't
there.
know that.
And so every time he needed a bit of literature, he would call and say, Jim, you got this copy? And, well, he had a great library
You
going
bet.
at that time. So I called myself Wingert Jones East.
That's great. That's great. Well, you know, my first judging gig ever was at Northwest Missouri.
Really?
Okay, and you're not going to believe that it was their band day celebration. Okay, and you remember they had a parade that marched over to the stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, I spent at an intersection on top of a ladder in the back of a pickup truck.
I believe
Okay,
it.
while the bands were coming down the street in one way and turning the corner and going the other, I had to fill out a sheet with probably 30 seconds in each direction. That's all I had.
That's it.
With somebody holding up the next sheet for me.
Wasn't
As
it
the-
great?
Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. those were
And
days.
There were 60 little bitty schools that show up for
Oh
that
yeah,
parade, man.
yeah,
They
and it
lined up
was a
all
great
day long.
experience too.
Yeah.
Great experience.
Great people.
Thanks for coming in and
You
sharing
bet,
some
my
time with
pleasure.
me. Okay, come back again. We'll do that sometime when you have a little bit of a break. Maybe
Yeah.
we can get you to comment on one of the
Oh,
bands that's on the field
that'd
that
be great.
you know.
You know, Don Marcoulier was so nice to me. He would hire me to come up to Adventureland
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to those bands, and
I'll
then
bet.
we'd
It
sit and
didn't-
talk shop.
Well, and you know,
What a great man.
a real gentleman.
Yes.
You know, no question about it. He's doing well.
Is he?
Yeah, he turns 92 this month,
Is that right?
and he's living in an assisted living place, but he's thriving.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a little electric go-kart that takes him across the different places where
You
he's
know,
got to go. And
I don't have his current number, but I got his whole phone number. in
oh
my
yeah,
phone.
well I'll give it
Still
to you.
got it.
I'll give it to
I'd
you.
love to talk to him.
He'd love to talk to you too,
That'd be
Jim.
great.
That's great.
Thank you.